Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today I'm going to show you how I make these little stickers and I'm going to show you how to make masks. And I picked up this set of label stamps. They're from the Planner Essentials collection from Elizabeth Craft Designs. They're really high quality photopolymer. They smell good. I picked them up from a seller called Juniper's on Amazon for like 11 or 12 bucks a couple months ago. And I thought it'd be fun to make a bunch of labels. So I've stamped these on sticker paper. This is just like a full sheet label from Avery. You can get it at any office supply store or even like probably Target or Walmart. So it's just like one sheet label, full size label. Oh, well, you know what? Here's what the package looks like. Right there. Oh, I got it at Martin's for $7.77. Regular $15.59, but it's just a big sticker. And I also stamped it on cardstock, and I'm doing this with red ink because I think of like old vintage labels kind of having that red outline and then stuff stamped inside in brown or whatnot. So now I want to make some masks for that, and I've made a bunch here, and I've made these out of Post-it tape. You could definitely use Post-it notes or any scrap paper you want, but I'm using Post-it tape because it will give me a little bit of it'll stick the mask down in place really well, but not super sticky so that it won't rip my paper, but it will allow me to stamp inside of all those labels before I cut them out, which I think will be really handy. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut them out with my scan and cut machine or cut them out by hand. They're pretty easy. I can do it either way. So what I'm doing is just stamping my labels on this Post-it note sticky stuff. It's just wide Post-it note tape. You can get that at any office supply store or Amazon. I'll try to link it down below, and I'm sure Amazon has it. Will I remember? I think I can remember that. All right, and then you're going to take an X-Acto knife, and you are just going to carefully cut the inside out. Now, cut right on that stamped edge. It's almost a little bit better to cut the hole just slightly bigger. So you're going to try to cut just a little sliver of ink out too. This way you can stamp your frame in whatever color and then stamp whatever you want inside in any color, and then that little frame will be preserved. So if I lift that up, I can show you. See, you can see the little frame, and then I can set that on top of whatever I'm cutting. So I'm going to do that for each of these. And then if you're kind of close to the edge like I was on some of the other designs, these are really easy to cut out with an X-Acto knife because it stays stuck to your mat. If you're like really close to the edge, like it's a bigger label stamp, then you can put some another stick of Post-it note stamp, or just put a Post-it note over the edges or whatever. I like to go over, if I'm connecting a couple pieces of Post-it note tape with some just clear Scotch tape. That way it will it'll just hold it in place a little bit better. And also you could even laminate it with Scotch tape if you wanted to make it last a little bit longer, but just keep in mind, if you do that, you're going to have wet ink on the Scotch tape after you use it, so you're going to need to wipe off the tape when you're stamping, if you're stamping a bunch of these. Otherwise you're going to get ink buildup and probably end up smearing it, and that won't be fun after you go through all this work to make your mask. Oops, forgot that side. The straight edges are great. When I did the circle one, I actually just kind of cut an X in the middle and then used scissors to cut out the outside. So I'm just going to cut these apart. I think I've got plenty of room around here probably. And there are my masks. So what I will do is I will just stick these on the back of the stamp packet and store them that way. So here you can see all my little masks to go with this stamp set. You probably have label stamps in your stash. Just make them to fit whatever you have. If you don't have any, these are a really affordable option. Darkroom Door has a really nice set too that are rubber. They're more expensive. I think they're about $25 a set. I don't have those, but if the sizes are different than these, I would consider picking them up. So what I'm going to do is pull out a few botanical stamps and show you how to use these masks that you've just cut. I was playing around with the masks and seeing what I could do with just a few simple stamps, and I really like the way they're working out. So let me show you how I'm going to use them. So this is a sticker sheet paper. You can see it's got it's printed on the back with the Avery info, and then these are the sticker pieces. And so to use your mask, what you want to do is take the mask to fit whatever label you want to use, and then you're just going to lay that over the top, and you want to try to just cover up. You want to try to just like just see a little sliver of the color you stamped the frame in, and then just tap it down. If you need more space, you can just take a post-it note and stick it down, or lay a piece of paper down, whatever you want to do, because if your stamp is bigger that you're going to stamp over that mask, you'd want to protect the other labels there. This is a great way to use the sticker paper, which, you know, it's not super expensive, but you don't want to waste it. It's a good way to conserve that so that you get to use all of it up. And I'm just going to start with this little kind of embellishment stamp. It's kind of like a scroll. I'm going to put that along the edge here, and it's going to fit, so I don't have to add another. It's going to fit on the mask, I mean. I'm going to press. You want to press pretty firmly when you have the mask. Even though post-it tape is pretty thin, you still want to make sure that you're pushing it in there. That's one of the reasons I said to cut the mask slightly bigger, so you could just see, so you're kind of cutting off a little bit of the ink so you don't have so much of a halo. Like I might get a little bit of a halo with that stamp. No, it's not too bad. You know, just to, it just will help you with that. Now let's do like maybe a little butterfly here. I thought this would be fun, just to do some images that I thought would work with a lot of different themes. So I figured butterflies, flowers, scrolly things. I thought that would be pretty versatile with the type of cards I like to make. And I love collaging stuff together. I think it's so fun to do that. Let's do, now see, this one's kind of long, so what I'm going to do here is just grab a piece of scrap paper and set that down. And I'm going to ink this up. And that way I don't have to worry about this going off my mask and ruining anything else. There, that looks pretty cute. And I remember something else right here. Let's see, I got this little stamp that says postcard. I could put that. I could put that just like that. Let's see how that looks. Now you might get some duds, so don't worry about it if, you know, they all don't turn out perfect. That's part of the fun, and like, you have really conserved your supplies by getting so many different elements on one. You don't really have to worry. If one doesn't come out great, then so what? So let's peel that back, and see you've got your little collage right within that little space. So I'll probably end up, once I fill this up, I'll probably just use my, let's use that big one again. I'll probably use my scan and cut machine to cut these out, just because it will be even quicker than doing it by hand, but there's a lot of straight edges here, so I think doing this by hand would be really easy. In fact, you could sit down in front of the TV at night and just trim all these out and put them like in a little envelope to use on your next batch of cards. I think that would work out really well. This set was so cute. It's from a seed packet set from Paper Tray Ink, and I actually have the stamp of the seed packet and a die to cut out a seed packet, which is kind of fun. That, I don't really think it needs anything else, so I would just use that just as it is. You could also use your collage stamps, you know, the stamps that have a lot of, you know, funky stuff going on, and you could just stamp it, and so you get to basically spotlight one section of it. That would be kind of cute. Now this, I don't know if any of my stamps are going to fit in there without me masking something off. Let's see, what do I want to use here? Oh, that flower might be kind of fun, but I definitely need to add a couple strips of post-it tape if I'm going to do that. So this is what I was saying about making your masks a little bit larger. So rather than waste this and throw it away when I'm done, what I would do is just take a little bit of Scotch tape here and just tape that down. And that will like keep those together, and then the next time I have a project like that, I'm going to have a little bigger of a mask. So save these. You can use them over and over again, which I think is really fun. Now this is a real dense stamp, so I might not get that great of an impression, but we will see. I'm just trying to center it up, and I am going to give it a good push. And I do have a thin piece of foam underneath me there. Yeah, it didn't stamp perfectly, but that's okay because of the type of stamping we're doing here. We're doing a lot of collage, so I'm going to take that one that's got the numbers. I think I'm just going to try stamping that on top and see what I get. Oh, maybe I'll do the word part. That might be even better. I'm just going to throw that over the edge there in case I go over. Now, I will warn you, when you are going over stamping on top of the Scotch tape, it is a little slippery. So if you've got a lot of your stamp on that Scotch tape, it can be slippery. And I also recommend you wipe that off the tape so you don't end up smearing it on your next project. And then I'd probably just do a piece of tape that way too, just to really hold down those little pieces of tape, because they're low tack. They're not going to want to stick to each other that well, but that's what that little mistake one looked like. I think that actually worked out all right, having that little the little thing there. So, you know, have fun with it. Just play with your different masks. You can make all sorts of different designs and come up with all sorts of fun stuff. I want to try this butterfly centered in the middle. I did it on another one. Maybe I'll try to center it lower and then maybe put some words on top. By the way, I'm using archival ink here for this because that way if I want to color these with water-based markers, I can. Or if I want to do some light watercoloring, I can as well. I'm just going to slide that down a little bit so I have a little space on the top. I'm giving it a good push. And then I could do, I really like that one. I think that's kind of interesting. So, and I mix and match all sorts of different stamps. You'll find that as you are, as you're collecting stamps, that you will gravitate to certain things, and then you'll find that they tend to go together. As long as you're kind of buying what you like and not just what a trend is, you're going to find that stuff goes together if you buy things that you like. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fill in the other labels, and then I'll cut these out and show you how they look when they're all done. Alright, I finished stamping these out. First I want to show you how I'm storing these stamps. I just get these very inexpensive CD pockets. They're just clear CD envelopes. You can get them in a packet of 100 pretty cheaply on Amazon. I think I might have even gotten a package of 500 because that's how they came when I bought mine. But I put the stamp set in here. I actually take the clear stamp and label because it comes with the 2 acetate sheets so it doesn't stick to anything, and I just put those in, and I keep the backing for the package that the things came in. That way I know who made them, but more importantly I stick the masks to the back of the packaging, and then it's there. They're ready the next time I go to use these, because once you've done the work of making those masks, you don't have to do it again, and it's going to make making any little tags or labels super, super easy. So these were pretty quick to stamp. I didn't even really, you know, I just pretty much randomly put things with like scripty text, flowers, and butterflies together, and I think they came out absolutely adorable. So what I'm going to do is actually see if my Scan and Cut will cut these apart. I'm not sure if it will, because if it detects the black over the red, I might have issues. If that's the case, I'll just cut them out by hand, but I'm hoping that the Scan and Cut will cut them out, and then I'll show you what they look like when they are cut out. This is so satisfying. It cut every single one out on the cardstock without me having to scan it again or do anything like that. I love it when that happens. And I wanted to share a quick tip with you. My mat was not sticky at all. It stopped holding the paper down, which, you know, they're not terribly sticky anyway, but something that I do with these and my Cricut mats are I use this product called quilt basting spray, and I take thick masking tape and I mask off the edges, and then I spray this with the quilt basting spray, just a light coat, and it makes it so it will stick the paper down again. I've been using this mat since I got my machine. I would say 4 year ago. When the Scan and Cut 2 first came out. I didn't get the Scan and Cut ones because there's so many issues. I still tape down the corners of my paper just to make sure it doesn't shift and ruin all of my my work. But that works really great for making any of your electronic die cutter mats sticky. Again, just make sure you do protect the edges so you don't get stickiness on the rollers. So quick tip there. Be back in a second and I'll show you all of the loose little stickers that we've made. Okay, finished stickers, so exciting, but first I feel like I need to put a disclaimer on the last thing I said about resticking your Cricut mats or your Scan and Cut mats. I do it. It's worked for me. I've been doing it since 2009 with my original Cricut machines, and my machines are old and out of warranty. Just want to say that because it may void warranty if you did something happened to your machine and you were resticking your mats. I don't know. It's worked really well for me, but I just don't want somebody to be type. How dare you recommend people make use of their mats they already have when they should buy new ones? They could void their warranty. I just want to put it out there. That's what I do. I'm not recommending it. If you don't feel comfortable with that, don't do it. It's worked for me, and I'm going to keep doing it because it works for me, and it saves me a ton of money because I'm still using my first scan and cut mat from like 4 years ago. So that's, and my Cricut mats from, actually I use Slice mats because I don't like to purchase Cricut products. So I use actually Sizzix Eclipse. That's what it is, the Eclipse mats. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Look at these gorgeous little stickers. Here are my cardstock ones. I just think they're so adorable. Oh my gosh, let's just have a look at these lovely beauties, shall we? Oh, so satisfying. So these obviously would be glued on. I could color these, I could tint these. I'd probably use, honestly, I think I'd probably use like some chalk to color these, chalk pencil, and just kind of maybe smudge it out a little bit so I keep that kind of soft vintage look. But, and obviously, if I go over them with chalk pencils, they're going to get a little bit of a hazy look to them, which will tone down the black a little bit, which I think would be really pretty. And oh, this is my favorite, I think this one right here. Isn't that lovely? And you can use whatever you have for stamps. You don't have to use anything in particular. I think this look would just be gorgeous with anything else. I like that one too. Just mix and match stuff you've had for years. It's gonna look great. Those were on cream cardstock. Oh, by the way, when I cut these out on my scan and cut, I used the first it lets you put a border on things if you want to. If you don't do anything, it would cut right on the line, and you wouldn't have that like border. So I used the 0.04 border on mine on my scan and cut. Obviously, if you're using scissors, you can totally customize it in an infinite amount. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day. These obviously are white. The one thing you want to be careful when you're removing these from the mat, the sticker ones, is that you don't peel off just the topping. You want to make sure you keep the sticker part attached to the back. Now you could use, with an electronic die cutter, you could actually cut it so you just cut through the sticker paper and you don't cut through the backing, and then you could have like a sheet of stickers. You would use like a thinner setting, a shallower setting, shallower blade depth. But I think these are pretty easy to remove. There are some actually cuts in the back of the backing paper so you can peel off the sticker stuff on some of them. Obviously with small stickers it wouldn't be on all of them, but they're not that bad, not that hard to take apart. I just think these are so cute, so adorable. And I'm just going to store these in my little CD pockets that I showed you that I store my stamps in. And then I'll just put them in my little box of embellishments in my card cart so I can grab them when I want them and stick them onto a project or as an envelope seal or whatever I want to do. They're so adorable. I hope you found this easy. I'll just show you just in case you're not visualizing it very well of how I'm going to store these. I'm just going to put them right in a little envelope like this. This is the same thing I stored my Tim Holtz faux ancestors in. If you saw that video, these little trays, I get these at junk shops and vintage stores. Are just like little ashtrays. They are so handy for sorting out little die cuts and stuff, and they're really also good for resting your brushes on if you want to. But there you go, very easy to see. I'll store these separate from these just because I know these are stickers and those are glue-ons. But there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give me a thumbs up if you like ideas like this, and until next time, happy crafting!